Hey, welcome back to my Minimax 1100r aircraft build vlog. Yeah, it's a video log of my build. And so the temperatures in the factory where I work and where I build my airplane, they've actually been like around 60 degrees, and it's caused a little bit of an issue with my epoxy. I have to put it in warm water every time before I actually start to mix it. And so what I decided to do today actually is I'm going to build a epoxy warmer box. Just quickly put something together, just using my brad nailer, and I've got some extra wood here. It's just some yeah, I'll think of it in a second exactly what kind of wood that is, but it's a birch ply. Oh well, I'll think of it. It doesn't matter. It's decent plywood. So what I'm gonna do is, for about, I don't know, $15, I was able to get what I need. And so all I did was I went to Home Depot and I got a lamp kit, which is just a cord and a socket and everything you need to put together a lamp. And then I just picked up just a couple hinges. Don't really need anything fancy here at all, so it'll just be a box. Interesting enough, I hadn't looked for an incandescent bulb in a long time at Home Depot. They had one, and it just so happens that it was a 40 watt, which is what I was looking for, but it's kind of a fancy Edison bulb. So where I was hoping to get a $1 bulb, I got a $5 bulb. But I did check it out in a lamp. It actually creates quite a bit of heat, so that's a good thing. That's what I'm looking for. And I'll basically regulate the temperature of the inside of the box just by leaving the door cracked and open. I built one of these a long time ago, so that's the same thing I did before. If it gets too hot completely closed, I can just crack that door a little bit and let some of the heat out, which is what I'll do here. I just want this to be really simple, not take a lot of time. I'd rather put that time into actually building the airplane. So yeah, but I thought I would show you anyway, in case you happen to live in a climate where your shop is not as warm as you'd like it to be, and your T88 has to be warmed up as well. Because what I found is I would heat the T88 with warm water, just by setting the bottles in warm water, and then I would go and I'd mix some, and then the second time when I came back to mix again, it was already starting to get thick again. So this will totally take care of that, because when I mix it, I'll put those bottles right back in the warmer, and it'll be all good. So yeah, so let's make this thing. So I'm just using the bottles themselves. I want some space kind of around them. I don't want them to be too tight together, and then I want enough headroom where the bulb's not sitting right on top of them. So I had this piece of birch already cut, so to this particular width, which looks like a perfect size for the box. It's about 7.25 inches wide, and I'm gonna make this about 8 inches across here. So at first I'll just make the top and the bottom the same size. It'll be 8 inches, so I'll do that in the table saw. I'll just cut these off at 8 inches, and then after I make the sides. By the way, this is Baltic birch. Finally came to my mind what I was dealing with here. I know what this is, I just couldn't think of it at the moment. I'm going to be 57 soon, so maybe that's got something to do with it, I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to go cut two identical pieces here for the top and the bottom. and then we'll figure out how tall we want this. All right. I know you've heard me say this before, but one of my favorite things about I almost feel like Rockler should consider sponsoring my video in some way, because I just really love their tools, and the things that they make are just really helpful. But this sled for the table saw is just really awesome. And one of the things I really like about this particular sled is I'm going to support the other end of this. One thing cool about this particular saw that I'm using is this little lever here, and I can actually pull this out, so I don't really have to use the roller. There's a little additional support there. Once I get this where I want it, let me back it up here. You can actually use this piece on the top right here. It slides over, and it'll slide right against that piece of wood. So after I cut the first one, the second one will be exactly the same. So all I gotta do is position it in there against that, and then we're all set. All right, two identical pieces. So that's the top and the bottom. Now we'll go and make the sides. Go figure out what those need to be. All right, I want to do one more thing before I actually put this on. I want to get my drill out. And for the top, we're going to need to get the hole for this. So, see what size we need. And it looks like 3/8 will do. I would typically put this in the drill press, but for this purpose, I can hand drill it close enough where it won't hurt anything. Trying to find the center of this board here. Double check. my automatic punch there. All right, now we just need to make a front and a back, and then when we put the back on, that'll square everything up for us. Make sure we're running square. And actually, we're perfectly square right now. So. That's crazy. Square cuts, I guess, make square things. So we'll get a quick measurement here. So we are 9 inches by 17 1/4. All right, let me go cut 2 pieces. All right, now we'll get this back on, and everything remains square. So nice and square, actually. All right, so I had to get a little bit creative with the top section. I ran out of material, so what I'm doing is going to make the door on the lower section, and I'll put the hinges on, and then I just made a piece that I can fix in the top section, and so we'll open like this. So that'll work out good. And I might raise the door just slightly above the bottom surface, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off of this one. And before I put that on permanently, I'm going to get this all wired up here. Bulb off. I feel like that bulb is just like really fragile, so let's do it like this. There's just a little screw on here that tightens up against this threaded rod. Tighten that well. It's going to go up in there. Wires down. Okay. And that just pushes back down in there. And then this goes on. Snaps in place. All right, so we're all set there. Found this a minute ago that I don't know why I didn't think of this first. It actually helps to draw some lines that kind of delineate the thickness here, so you don't end up too close to the edge and have one of your brad nails come shooting out the side, which I did a couple times there. So this just helps with locating the center there. All right, now we'll break out a couple hinges, put those on. Have just a little space at the bottom, which works out really good. And then we'll get the hinge where it needs to go. So we'll just put one here. Just gonna leave a slight gap at the top as well, just for clearance. So just a little bit there. All right. Now we'll drill some pilot holes for those screws. Some of you savvy watchers followed what just happened, and so I'm going to show you. I put my hinge on the outside thinking, yeah, no problem, it's going to go there and it's going to go there, but I didn't realize when I got here the hinge is on the same piece. So so what I've decided to do, it actually makes me laugh, but I didn't even notice that I had done that. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to flush mount this hinge on the inside like that, and then I'll put this hinge on the outside, so the other one will be on the inside. So what I've done is I've made some just some marks here, and I'll get my Dremel tool, and I will just route that out enough to countersink these hinges in here. then we'll be good. But the way I did it the first time was certainly not going to work. So, all right, so just give me a second here. Let me get set up with what I need. All right, so I just reversed those, flush mounted them, and then I drilled a couple holes here. So now all I got to do is put the screws in here, and then I got my door operating properly. So I'll get those screws in place, and I'm running low on battery, which I can't believe. So I'm gonna stop the camera, put the screws in, and put the bulb in. Then we'll talk about the box. Okay. All right, so I got the boxes all done, and I'll open it up. I got T88 warming in there, and you can see the super cool bulb. It actually is like a perfect temperature. It's actually been heating in here for maybe an hour and a half, and it hasn't gotten overly hot, but I can tell you that it worked really well, because there is the first fuselage side that I did, and today, besides building the box, I actually wanted to get the second fuselage side, which is right here. You can see it's all the plywood is stapled to it, which I didn't show you that because you already saw it in the last video. It's exactly the same, and but tomorrow I'm planning to come back to the shop, and it puts us in a great spot to start cutting the cross members and start setting these things up parallel and start adding some cross members, and it's going to start looking like fuselage. So that, I mean, we've got some things to build. I've got the firewall that we have to cut, and then I've got the rear spark carry through behind the seat, station 4 that we have to make, which is no problem. That won't take very long, and then some cross members to cut, and then I wanted to get the two pieces of UHMW that the control stick, the bearings for that, because I need to drill those holes with a drill press through the two cross members where those are located before we epoxy them into the fuselage. So yeah, so there's some sequencing that has to happen, and I think I've got it down. I know what we got to do. So yeah, so anyway, super happy with the box. I think it's going to work out perfect, and I don't have to I had to mix like 4 times to do this, and it was nice to be able to put them back in the box, keep them warm. When I picked them back out and poured the next one, it was perfect consistency, and yeah. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today and checking out the video. It's a little bit different than building the plane, but necessary, and maybe you need one of these, and don't make the mistake that I did with the hinges the first time, but I redeemed myself. All right, cool. I'll catch you later.